Hello everyone, welcome along to the first ever video lesson on Crossroad Blues Secrets. This one is on John Mayer. Now, he did a lesson on pentatonics on Instagram a couple of years ago. If you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. So in this lesson, John's playing a blues in C, and he's playing over the changes. So he plays a 12-bar blues, he plays a chord stab, and then he plays a phrase that goes along with that chord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down all of his phrases and point out some subtle things he does as we go along. So here's the first phrase. So this lick here, we're starting on the C note. And then 8 on the G, and then pull off 10 to 8 on G. And then you're going to bend up this 10 twice. So this lick here, this is confusing right away because we've got not a regular kind of C7 stab, we've got this. Now this chord, if you're not familiar with this is a 9 chord, a C9 chord. Normally you see C9 played like that, don't you, or down here maybe, you know, but this one here is a bit unusual. Now what's going on here is if you put your third finger on the 8 on the B, 7 on the G with your first finger, and then 8 on the D, that makes the ninth. That note there is the ninth. And then you're reaching over with your thumb for the C note. And you want to try and give it a roll, not a, that kind of thing. And then we have this. Now, this phrase is a good one because you're starting off on the C note. And then you're going to bend this 8 here on the G up to this F note on the 10. And then you let it down and kind of up again. That's very subtle. Now, John does this with his first finger. I'm using thick strings, so I can't do that. So I'm using it with my second finger. Okay, now this phrase, same thing, you do the same stab again with that C9 chord. And then it's 13, which is a C note again on the B string. And then you're going to slide back really from anywhere, maybe the 14th fret, to the 10th fret, pull off to the 8th fret on the G. Alright? And this note, this is very subtle too, it's slightly curled, it's not. It's, and then you're going to do that bend again on 10 on the G. So this lick, that C9 again, now you're going to bend 11 to 13, that's a flat 7 to the root, and then straight to the 10 on the G. And then 8 on the G, 2 strikes on 10, which is the root note, the C note again. And then a quick 8 here on the D, that's very subtle. You can pull that note off if you like, that 10 to 8. This is a cool one. Again, that stab. And then C this time on the top string on the high E, and then slide into 10. That's an A note, that's the 6. 2 strikes on that C again, and then 10, which is the 9th of C. And make sure you kill that with your right hand. This one's a cool one. Again, the F9 chord. And then now we're playing this F again. This time we're going to go up to the 11th fret and we're going to go back to the 10th fret. Bend it up a half step. 2 strikes on that C note, finishing on the A note again. This one's a nice one, starting on that C again. Bend up that 8 on the B. Let it down and 2 strikes on the 8 again, and then go up to that A note. This is a lovely move John likes to do a lot. Very bluesy, that. Okay, really good one. That chord again, the 9 chord. Bend this D note. This is the 9th of C. There's your C, there's your D note. And then hit this note. This is the G note. And then 2 strikes on that C note. Again, the root on the 5 on the G. Same chord again, this time still starting on the 9th. So bend up that 9th, there's 7 on the G. And then let down, come back to 5 on the G. So I do pick that when I let it down. And then bend up that 8 on the B and kill it with your right hand. Let down. And then slide up to the 10 here on the B. So it's quite quiet, that last note. Okay, so this phrase here, you're playing over the G9 chord and then the F9 chord. So he's playing a little lick over each one. So over the G9, so you're bending up this 10th fret on the B, let down, strike that 8 twice, and then come back to this 10th fret, the A note, and kill it quickly, then play a stab on the F9 chord, and then bend up this 7th fret on the G, up a half step, pull off to 5, 7 on the D, and then 8 here on the G, and then 2 strikes on that at 5 on the G. So So this one, cool one, in position 5 of the pentatonic scale. So you're sliding into 5 and then to 7 on the D string. And then a little curl here on 5 on the G, that's the C note. And then 7 to 5 on the D. 8 on the A there. And then curl this 6th note here on the A string into the 7th note, that's the E, that's the major third. After you've done that curl, go back to 8 on the A, and then play 10 here on the A, and then back to that C note there on the 8th fret of the low E string. So when John's talking about this pentatonic equator in this video, what he's really talking about is shape 1 of the pentatonic scale, which you know, and shape 5 of the pentatonic scale in C, which is, so that's 6 8 6 8 5 8 5 8 6 8 6 8. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. That's all the licks. Take some ideas from that and look out for the subtleties of his bending and obviously his tone too. Have some fun with that. Do remember to subscribe if you're new here. That would be really great. See if we can get up to 1,000 subscribers pretty quick. Nice to see you. Lots more lessons coming. See you soon.